eyes shut, but they know. Buried alive by the lies in they soul. They stride of a blind man stroll. Well, for whom does the next bell toll? This a long time coming like a comet pass. Got them all fired up from the rocket blast. And if I fall on my sword, turn my bone to ash. Let it clog up the sand in that hourglass. We in the title fight, blow for a blow. And you can reap the benefit of what I have to sow. Cause I'm about that worth of which you don't appear to know. So you can take the scene while I take over the show.
Hello everyone and welcome to the SimRacing.Club Porsche Super Cup Series here at the Croft circuit. I'm here with Thomas Hinds, Lewis McGlade as well, me, hello, and Jimmy Allison on cameras. But yeah, we're obviously here for the second round of the championship, which so far has been pretty well dominated by one Mr. Nicky Jakovic, which I can't say was a massive surprise. We come here to the second round, and he is still leading by half a second over your initial pole sitter at the start of the season, Carsten Wilhelm. So, are we expecting to see another round of Nicky Jakovic almost walking away from the field?
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting to see. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast. Yeah, it's it's always, you don't want to call it too early, and you don't want to sort of put a damper on things by saying it's so. But I mean, here he is in practice. He's half a second up on his next opponent, which is Carsten Wilhelm as it happens at the moment. So, you know, it's hard to see past Nicky. He's just so good in these Porsches, and as we've said before, in the Virtual Endurance Championship as well, and the Porsches there. So he just seems to have his head around these cars really well, and so I find it hard to look past him. But I really do think that battle for pretty much the rest of the top 10 could be really close, because the rest of the field, especially from sort of second down to 12th, 13th, is really close.
Absolutely. We've got the entire 24-car field at this present moment in time, with a few new drivers we'll go through in qualifying. All separated by 4.2 seconds, which does sound like a lot. But when you consider the top 19 drivers are separated by 2 seconds and that Nicky Jakovic has a half a second lead, your battle for your mid-pack should be pretty good this round. And around this tight and twisty circuit, I'm sure we will get some good racing. I'll quickly run through the top 5 in the championship, because why not? It's Nicky Jakovic leading, but it's Oscar Hardwick in second. Now, Oscar Hardwick finished that practice session in 9th place, so a little bit lower down than he'd want. We are getting ready to go out for qualifying, but then it's Alejandro Puotti, Daniel Canastracci, and Vladen Sofianik, your top 5. Of course, there's a few people lower down that order that, you know, we expect to see a bit higher. Adam Taylor is in 9th, in that he didn't have a very good race 2 after having a really good race 1 back in Silverstone. Of course, won the GT race last night at Silverstone. Here, the practice session, he was 12th. There's a lot of argy-bargy in the pit lane there, which is not what we want to see. I think we're looking at about a 78-second lap here for qualifying time. Maybe we'll get into the 117s. Not quite sure, but we'll see as this session progresses and they start rubbering it in. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting. It should be interesting. One thing I've noticed too, and I say this from doing practice for another league, using the same cars, of course. It's interesting to note that I find these cars are one of the few that I've found, to be honest, that don't seem to be as affected by fuel as others in our Factor 2. So, yeah, usually, obviously, you take out fuel in any car and it's going to be quicker because less weight. But these cars, and I suspect, as we know, because they're rear-engine and just the way they are, when you take out that fuel, they don't necessarily gain too much speed, if at all.
If anything,
yeah.
they're actually a little bit quicker with a bit of not like 60 liters of fuel, but if you're chucking in 25, 30 liters of fuel as Adam Taylor smashes one of the bollards in the final sector, I think he's going to have a bit of a front right suspension damage there. He's going to be it's not going to be the first person to set a lap time. Never mind. It will be Carsten Wilhelm to be the first person to set a lap time. But yeah, because of the weight balance, it will change how the car is set up. You'll find this a lot in the GT cars, over in VEC or in other leagues that use the URD GTs. I find them much more comfortable to drive with more fuel in because of the balance being different. Once you change the balance of the car, it's not so drastic in these, but it's enough. Especially around a circuit like this.
I definitely would agree because again, practicing with those cars, other leagues, using those GT cars, they really are. The balance of the cars changes so much when you put less fuel, especially in different tyre compounds as well. You actually have to adjust the setup purely because of different tyre compound and or fuel. So it's really interesting to see just how much that can change a car's behaviour, which is really good to see, of course, because it is realistic, really. So it's really good to see. But we'll see how we go here. It's Carsten Wilhelm, of course, just going through the final sector now, heading towards the final complex.
Yeah.
We'll see how his time goes. As we said, he was second in practice, half a second off Nicky, but in that top three once again. So you'd be assuming he should be up amongst the top few here at Croft.
Yeah, he obviously had that first pole position of the season back at the previous round. A good qualifying session for the first one, 4-3 wide. Makes a bit of a mistake there into that final hairpin. You've got to remember one of these things about these cars is especially around a short lap like this, as he crosses the line as a 1:19.1, ignore it. Totally ignore it. Now, the thing is, these cars around such a short lap are not going to get much tyre heat in at all. And I remember there was a league once that used to do these cars in R Factor 1 with Superpole qualifying, which was mental because you had to get all of that heat in your tyres in the first lap. And these cars do not work like that. That is absolutely not how they work. It's always the second, the third, or the fourth lap that's a little bit better, as long as you're not, locking up left, right, and centre. Either way, our top five is Nicky Jakovic, Oscar Hardwick, who are both returned to the garage after their laps on an 18.4 and an 18.8. Cedo Wire, pronounced correctly this time apparently, in third position on a 19.1. And then it's Carsten Wilhelm in fourth, just gets jumped down by Christian Michel, who moves up into third position. It was also Marius Burt, who was in sixth. I think Marius Burt was the other one that joined Carsten Wilhelm on the front row back in Silverstone, of course, a couple of weeks ago. We do have a couple of new drivers. I do apologise for not remembering all of them. Or maybe remembering people, I don't know. I get a bit lost here because we've got Nikodem Wisniewski, who's in the top 10. Of course, you will know him if you watch VEC, being one of the guys that plays up the top end of that for Feeder Sport Poland, who he is driving for here today in quite a light blue Feeder Sport Poland car. There's not a livery on that yet, but either way, quite a last-minute sign-up, I think Nikodem was. But either way, he's here now and currently doing an all right job in the top 10.
Yeah, indeed, showing some good pace is Nikodem. And again, as you say, we know him from the LMP1s in the main game of the VEC. That's where he's probably more well known here at SimRacing.Club. But here he is in the Porsches doing a good job. As you say, top 10, he's 8/10 off Nicky. Mixing in amongst the guys who were here last round, or first round, for this championship. So it's good to see him getting straight into the swing of things, so to speak. But it's still Nicky at the moment, leading 2/10 now. He's clear of Carsten Wilhelm. So Carsten's now jumped up. And again, as you were saying, as you point out with that second, third lap, I believe he set that time on his second lap. So he's going for the long run. He's going for 3 or 4 laps into. What's happening?
So this is one of the problems with this track, and you will see this in the race as well. There is some nasty bollards through. It's through the first chicane and also on the left of the braking zone for the first corner. They are rock solid, and they were basically just all over the track as Oscar Hardwick came through that first chicane. And yeah, I don't think it's messed up his lap too much, but they're enough to throw off the balance of the car, possibly even give you a bit of suspension damage. So they've got to watch out for that in the race. They can actually completely destroy a part of your suspension if you hit it hard enough, most notably the ones that are on the left on the entrance to turn 1. So got to be careful of those. But yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
I think
Well,
now they're getting cleared up. It's going to be excellent towards the end of this qualifying session.
Yeah, indeed. Cito there, by the way, just going to third, so he now slips in front of Oscar. Oscar just coming through the final corner. We'll see if he improves. Obviously, that little bollard shenaniganry there, but we'll see if he improves on this one. He doesn't. There you go. So stays fourth on 18.8, yeah. And then it's a little gap back to Christian Michel, and then I believe Vlad in there is sixth, and Bram Breland actually in seventh. That's good stuff. Good to see him in the
Good
top 10.
stuff from Bram, yeah. Of course, he also races over in the Virtual Endurance Championship in a Ferrari in Pro for SRVN.
I believe so, yep.
I believe so. I think he had a pole position back in Fuji in that car. Oh, I can't remember anything, I'm sorry. I do recall that car doing pretty well on occasion, so...
Yeah, I think
I'm correct. Oh. Good.
always nice.
Yes, it is always nice to be correct. I'm not sure how harsh we're going to be on track limits here. Of course, we were pretty lenient on track limits in the previous round, bearing in mind the wet conditions, etc. Here, though, I don't know. We're seeing a few people taking interesting lines through the first complex, through Cleaver and Hawthorne. So, yeah, I would assume some people might be in a bit of trouble. Adam Taylor jumps up into sixth position. Oh, Danny Canastracci jumps up into fifth, which is pretty good. And Oscar Hardwick, with all of his no practice, is in fourth at the moment, which is still pretty good. I'm just better than he expected. But yeah, it's looking like we've got an interesting top lot. We'll go through the order and go for some other new names. We've got Arnie Sheenvliet, who's here currently in 13th place for Evolution. I believe he's new, but did do the pre-season tests. Obviously a very quick driver elsewhere as Nikodem Wisniewski jumps up into the top 10. But yeah, Arnie's looking a bit lower than I would have expected him at this point, although he's only 1.3 seconds off of pole. So you never know, as Niki Jakovic did actually improve there. His lap time?
Yep. 18-1, yeah. So Nicky once again, as doing what we kind of expect of Nicky at this point, just galloping away from everybody in these cars. He just seems to be that extra league ahead of everybody else. As I've mentioned before, as I was discussing before the broadcast with Lewis, just mentioning with these cars, they are very interesting to drive, of course, being, being Porsches doesn't really help because they're a bit vague, I find. I mean, they're really hard to kind of judge what they're doing, is what I find anyway from personal experience. So I think if you're able to find that extra little bit of pace, like Nicky, like a few other guys I know in other leagues can do, I really think you're doing really well because I look at them when they're doing those times, especially Nicky's looking at doing 18-1. I'm going, how does he do that? But I guess if you know the cars that well and if you can really squeeze that performance out of them, then you can do it. But yeah, they're very interesting cars to drive for sure.
Oh, sorry to cut across there. Vladen Sofyanic there jumps up to second. Anyway, carry on.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Oh, nice.
That caught me out.
It's all good, no good spot. Too busy crapping about the cars. But yeah, no, they're very interesting cars to drive for sure. And obviously, I don't think they're everyone's cup of tea, which is fine. That's definitely, I can understand being these cars. They're not exactly the easiest cars in the world to drive, and they're probably a bit frustrating for some people, especially because of just how floaty they feel. I find that's kind of the word I've always used to describe them, is they just feel very floaty. You'll put them in the corner, and like down a straight, you'll kind of. I've done times where I've wiggled the wheel quite vigorously, and it just doesn't do anything to the cars. They're just that sort of a bit indirect, I guess, to drive. But I think that's just kind of how these cars are. So yeah, very interesting cars to drive. And again, kudos to the likes of Nicky and Vladen to get that kind of pace they're getting, and pretty much anyone in like the top 5 at the moment.
Yeah, they are. They're a bit like jelly. They're very odd cars to drive. They require a unique driver. So you'll see people in these. Now, that's not saying that anyone at the front in these shouldn't be at the front normally, because that's absolutely not true. Niki Jakovic is a top-class driver here in SimRacing.Club. But these cars, you can occasionally see people that will be right at the front when they're maybe not normally right at the front. Again, you'll see other people that should be right at the front, you would expect, who are right at the back. There's odd occurrences like this all of the time. But especially also track to track, and we're coming to a fairly bizarre track, a track that these are fairly unraced at, like Croft. It's a bit of a shock for some of these boys. We've got 5 minutes left of this qualifying session, though. And of your top 5, we've got Vladen Sofyanic is obviously in second. Yeah, he's up there. Alejandro Puoti, though, is the lowest placed of them. Back there with Danny Canastracci as well. 9th and 8th. That's a bit low for them, considering they are 3rd and 4th in the championship. So they really need to get a move on in this this final section of qualifying. Of course, this will be where the track's at its best, though. So.
Yeah, this is where you expect the times to start tumbling a bit as the track evolution kicks in. And yeah, it's interesting to see. So the pace back to the back end is about 5 seconds. But again, as we mentioned before, I mean, the top 20 is covered by pretty much just 2 seconds. So, and again, as we mentioned, Nicky's got that little gap to Vladen. So it's very close indeed, I think. And again, I reckon we're going to have a really fascinating fight again for sort of second, third, and pretty much all the way down to even the midfield. So it's the same thing as what we had at Silverstone as well, which is a similar thing where Nicky was kind of in his own league, but the people sort of in second, third, down to the back end of the 10 were really close on pace, and it's the same here at Croft. They're very, very close indeed. I mean, looking at sort of from Oscar Harvick in 5th down to Brand Beelan in 12th, that's what, 0.3 of a second, not even that, 0.2 of a second from 5th to 12th. It's just unbelievably close between these guys in all of the field.
I will say things are looking very good for Team Vires at the moment in this championship, as they have both of their drivers in the top 6. Of course, we have Niki Jakovic on pole position and Adam Taylor in 6th. But their closest rivals in the championship, being Magenta Warriors Racing Team, and not too far behind is 3 Wide Motorsports 1, but we'll get to that in a minute. Currently for Magenta, they're under a bit of threat here because they're in 5th, and Eric Strana is all the way down in 15th. So Eric Strana is really, really struggling with the lack of practice around here. 3 Wide have got both their drivers in the top 7. They're 4th and 7th at the moment for 3 Wide Motorsports 1. So things are looking fairly good for that team. But yeah, Magenta Warriors are definitely under threat to keep that that second place. I think they'll be lucky to keep that tonight, based on the pace of 3 Wide at this present moment in time.
Yeah, 3 Wide looking really impressive at the moment for their guys with Wilhelm and Bert. But yeah, I mean, one thing we mentioned already about Eric, how quick he can be. But again, lack of practice being the main factor, I suspect here. But I do expect him to get quicker, of course, as he gets used to the car around this track as the round wears on. I suspect I suspect qualifying 2 will probably be a little bit higher, is what I'm expecting anyway from Eric. There's someone just jumped up there. Who's that?
Nikodem Wisniewski up to 3rd position. Great stuff from him. But also we had Alejandro Puoti move up into 5th, but then get bumped down by Arnie Schoenvliet to 6th, and then Arnie Schoenvliet got bumped down by Nikodem Wisniewski. So Nikodem in his first qualifying session, not pulling any punches here. Of course, we know how fast he is over in VEC, being the championship leader over there, and winner of 4 consecutive races in that. So of course they were knocked off that streak a little bit by Revolution at the previous round, but either way, things are going very well for Nikodem Wisniewski here in his first round in the series.
Yeah, no, showing that pace that we know he has over in VEC, so it's good to see him doing really well here. That has also put Oscar Harvick down to 9th, just noticing. So yeah, Oscar's dropped a little bit back, and again, it's just all he's got to gain. I mean, he gains 1/10 and he goes up a good couple of spots. He gains a couple of tenths, he goes up to almost on the podium. So it just shows how close it is in that fight from pretty much sort of 3rd, 4th, all the way down to the midfield. So interesting stuff. We'll see how it develops as we got just over 30 seconds to go in this session.
Yeah, a lot of these boys will be starting their final lap. Oscar Harvick getting ready for his. Obviously down in 9th position. He needs to move his way up the order. Niki Jakovic is on the way on his last lap. Same as Sofianik starting his last lap. Nikodem Wisniewski is pulling into the pit lane. He's done for the day. Sido Wire on his last lap as well. So a lot of these boys are on their last laps. I think Carsten Wilhelm might sneak one more in, but he does have traffic up ahead of him from Thomas Behar. So I don't think this lap is going to count. There was just a bit of a screen freeze there. So it was an improvement there for Carsten Wilhelm. A little bit, not much, but he did improve. Also, Behar's gotten out of the way, so he could get this lap in. He is actually on a timed lap, as far as I'm aware. Arnie Schoenvliet returns to the pit lane. Alejandro Puoti's off the road. Niki Jakovic comes to complete that. Does a 17.960. Watch out for Cedar Wire out the final corner. 4th position at the moment. Can he move himself further up the field? He's currently half a second off of pole position. He does move himself up to 2nd position, the Cedar Wire. So great stuff from him. I think who's the next person going to be to complete a lap? Kind of Stratch, who's going a bit slow, I think. I think he might assume he's getting one more. Not really looked at the time of the session. We'll see as he comes out the final corner and bursts towards the line, or he just goes off the road. Good lad. Adam Taylor, I think, might be the next one now.
As he comes right behind him.
Yeah, Oscar Hardwick right behind him. So the two Englishmen following each other around, obviously fan favourites of each other after the previous round, race 1, bashing each other off and then have a little bit of a hissy fit.
Ooh.
On TeamSpeak, Adam Taylor goes to 6th. Oscar Hardwick does not improve. So,
Interesting.
yeah, that is round 1. Well, round 1 tonight at least to Team Vires. Carsten Wilhelm out the final corner. Can he do anything about this 6/10 off of pole position at the moment? And across the line, he does improve, goes to 4th. So that final lap does count. So he increases 1 position on the grid, but still, it is going to be Nicky Jakovic on his 2nd pole position in a row.
Yeah, 3/10 clear. So not as much as I was expecting. I thought it'd be another half-second drubbing from Nicky. So at least it's not as big of a gap. But still, 3/10 is a lot of time on a short lap like this. But either way, still great stuff from Nicky again, showing that class we know he has in these Porsches. Cedo, great stuff though from him to be up in the top 3. That's really good to see. I think Sophie Yannick there's deserved a bit of shout out there. It's a good stuff to see him in the top 3. And Nicodem as well, this first race in the series to be top 5 is really quite impressive. He's just straight on the pace without really any hesitation at all.
Absolutely, it's going to be an interesting race. And 3/10 may sound like quite a bit in qualifying, but I think we've seen plenty of examples in the past of people setting a lap time that is very quick, but maybe not necessarily converting it quite as well. Now, around a tricky circuit like this, one tiny mistake, especially sunny in and sunny out around the back end of the circuit, is such an easy place on the track just to lock a front right. And as soon as you do that, you're straight off the road. And it's also really difficult because a lot of these corners, you're coming off of another corner, especially the first sector. You're bouncing over a little bit of a curb here, and then boom, you're locking up a front wheel and just going straight off the road. So there's a couple of examples where people are going to be under a bit of threat and bit of pressure. Hopefully not too many love taps, but we'll see. But Nicky Jakovic though, 3/10 lead in qualifying, you've got to assume though he's probably going to convert that into a race win. He's a very experienced driver and of course has 2 wins to his name already out of 2 this season. And we do have no formation lap, which means these tyres are going to be like ice cubes on the first lap.
Indeed, yeah, I get that formation lap to warm up the tyres and the brakes and whatnot. So it's going to be interesting to see who can really get off to the good start and get used to the tyres, or get them up to temperature, would be the better term to use. Get them up to temperature as quick as possible and kind of just skate around that first lap or 2 as you wait for the tyres to really start to get into their stride. But it's going to be quite something, I think. This battle, especially that battle, as I said, from the podium all the way into the midfield, could be really interesting, especially being Croft as well, being a very, very tight and very twisty kind of circuit. It could be very, very interesting. I'm expecting... I am expecting a few instances. Being Croft and being these cars, I don't think will be an instant free. Even the world's best would probably not be able to manage that. So I don't think we'll be completely instant free, but hopefully it can be mostly clean. So it'll be good to see some really close, hard-fought racing without any absolutely huge instance. But we will see. We'll soon find out in just over 3 minutes' time.
Yeah, obviously when the British touring cars come here, which is not an example of the cleanest drivers in the world, let's get that out of the way. There is normally some beautiful first corner contact. And I'm not going to lie, I'm expecting that here today. I'm expecting a bit of contact within the mid-pack. It only takes one person to miss the corner. Also, the braking zone, there's not too many braking boards here. And you will notice this. This were the bollards that I was talking about on the left-hand side. As you come down into T1, those are movable. They can be knocked over. They can be knocked about, which means that at some point in the race, if someone's hit them, no one's got any braking boards for T1. So, yeah, that'll probably catch someone out. Lucky thing with T1 is you can go straight across it through a gravel trap and it's all right. Also, there is one of those bollards on the first chicane at Hawthorns. There's one on the left. That, be very careful of watching someone on the first lap, accidentally, hopefully, nudging someone towards that. At that point, I'm not going to lie, as a driver, I would just cut the corner. If you're facing that, cut the corner, give the position back. It's the simple way. I think you'll see a couple of people go across that gravel trap or over the left-hand side. It's a tricky complex of corners. Actually, if I don't know if... Oh, no, it's not. I thought Alcide Wire was going to go down towards the first chicane. We do have Nicky Jakovic going to the first chicane now, so you can actually see what he means. But yeah, it's a bit tricky. So
Yeah, it's hopefully knocking over someone's front bumper there. But yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It's going to be very interesting to see how that goes, and especially that chicane there
Yeah.
that you just went through is going to be very fascinating because obviously those tyre barriers don't move. So if it gets a
No.
little bit tight, that could get awkward. But I'm sure these drivers will get through no worries. I'm expecting them to, but we will see. But yeah, that could also be a bit of a watch point because of just how tight that is. It's tight enough with one car, let alone when you're trying to go through, 2 or 3 wides. So it could be very interesting.
You see it a lot in BTC in every race that I've seen around here. People will escape that chicane and go through. There's a little gap between the tyre. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not invisible, although if it is, that's going to catch a few of these boys out. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not invisible. So you may see some people skip through that. We do have 30 seconds to go. Your top 10. Oscar Hardwick and Alejandro Puotti on the 5th row. Now, these are not staggered. These are all on the same row, just inside and outside. Alejandro Puotti, though, in 9th. Schoenfleet and Burt, 8th and 7th. Taylor and Wisniewski in 6th and 5th. Wilhelm and Sofianik, 4th and 3rd. And Wire and Jakovic, your championship leader, starting on the outside here as we get ready for the start at Croft. Lights out and away we go, and it's a good start from both Wire and Jakovic. It has been a bad start for Sofianik, who's dropping down the order, but Wire's going to take the lead here into T1, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, bit of contact there between the two of them. I think Jakovic. Oh, look, big contact at the back. Big contact at the back, but Jakovic has taken the lead. Adam Taylor's scooting his way around up into 3rd position. That's a great start from the Englishman. The race winner yesterday, looking like he wants to convert into a podium today as everyone goes off outside of that chicane. Wisniewski's up into 5th. That's a good start from him. Oscar Hardwick's up into 7th. He's going to be on the inside of Sofianik here. So that's a great start from him as Jakovic is just running away from the field as we've got more contact at the back.
Indeed, yeah, so we're pretty close forward into that first corner. But again, they managed to get through without any major incidents. Only Arms really caught out. He had a spin there in the first corner, so he's at the back of the field. But aside from him, everyone else has managed to get through really unharmed. So good stuff from everybody to get through that first lap without any major incidents. But right now, I think the major battle to watch could well be Adam Taylor. He's got Carsten Wilhelm and Nicodem on his backside. Oscar Hardwick also there as well. So pretty close there at the back end of the 10. There's a bit of gap back to the sort of the midfield there behind 14th as well. Someone going off there as they're trying to avoid a bit of contact. But either way, and Sofianik's actually got a pretty big pack behind him right now. But look at this, Adam Taylor having to keep an eye on his mirrors because that is Carsten Wilhelm right behind him. Although Wilhelm's got a little bit of an interesting exit out of the last corner, and that could leave him a little bit exposed to Nicodem down the main straight.
Yeah, there's more cars a bit all over the place. Oh, we've got some contact with the hairpin towards the back at about 20th place, all just hitting each other off. Cool. Great stuff. Anyway, the lead, though, is Nicky Jakovic. 9/10 of a lead over Cedo Wire, who's not trying very hard not to let him get away. But then, as you say, yeah, we've got Adam Taylor, Carsten Wilhelm, Nicodem Wisniewski, Oscar Hardwick, all on a line for 3rd place. Behind that, you've got Vladen Sofianik, Marius Burt, Christian Michel, Alejandro Puotti, Canastracci, and even further back than that, all lining up for this 7th place as Sofianik seems like he's struggling a little bit here on race pace and looking like he's going to drop behind the 3-wide driver pretty soon.
Yeah, indeed. He's just dropped back behind Nicodem wins. Oh, Winsky's off. Nicodem's off. Nicodem's off.
That's a big, what happened there?
Big off. What has happened there?
What happened there? It looked like, I think he hit a tyre.
He
did. He turned in. I think he turned in too early. Oh, he clipped the curb wrong. Oh, that is so unfortunate there, and he hit an invisible wall. That is an unfortunate thing there for Nicodem Wisniewski. He did not deserve that, but either way, you got to remember 2 qualifying sessions here. The first result does not affect your starting position in the 2nd race, so that is a shame, but it happened, I guess. Eric Strana's is making progress up the field as well, where is Lasse Sorensen's dropped to last. Lasse Sorensen was making progress. He was up in the top 15 not too long ago and has dropped down to last position, so evidently it's had an off. But yeah, Eric Strana's moving himself up to the 13th position. Vladen Sofianik, what happened there?
I don't know. I'll see over look here. I'll see if I can find out. I think he just pulled off. Oh, ouch.
Oh, he hit one of his bollards.
Yeah.
I said they were going to cause problems.
Just went too wide, hit the rear end, hit it, and he's just gone straight
Adam
off.
Taylor. So. Bit of a slide there out of Tower Bend, and managed to keep the position on Carsten Wilhelm, but sick drifting skills there, bud. But yeah, he's just keeping that position ahead of the three-wide driver. He's looking to get himself onto the podium. Although I'm sure Oscar Hardwick will like to keep his little podium streak going. Of course, podium in both of the first two races of the first round, and currently running in 5th position. So, although his pace might be all right, I guess is the best way of putting it. He's got the racecraft, that ability to move up through the field.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I'm actually looking back at this. There's a few battles to watch here right now. Third, obviously, is probably the main one. That's Adam Taylor with Carsten Wilhelm and Oscar Hardwick behind him. There's another battle still for
More
6th.
contact at the back. It's it was Johnny Shingley as well was involved in that. I don't really know what happened.
Yeah, I'll just go back
there was some spinners in front, and they all just got really slow, hit a tyre barrier.
Yeah. Looks like they were just caught out by how slow a few of the slower guys, and then Saulers had a spin into the corner, and then unfortunately the guys behind just got caught out, had nowhere to go, and that's what led to that. And always gone straight. One of them's gone straight into the tyres as well, so he's going to have big damage. So, unfortunate, we're seeing a few little incidents coming through, but I mean, again, as we mentioned, being Croft and being these cars, it's kind of expected in these races, but yeah.
Lassie Sorensen with a very interesting line to turn one. He was one that skipped across that gravel trap. He did get himself back up. Oh my God! What happened there? Sorry, Jesper Christensen. What happened there?
I'll try and find out for you. I think he just hit the curb. You did, yeah. It's the curb.
Oh no, he started like, not to put it in a bad way, he started cutting the corner and then bam, hit the tyre wall and rolled. Sorry, that is one of the funniest things I've commentated on recently. Sorry, mate. Up at the front though, where the good driving is happening. Apologies. We do have Adam Taylor, Carsten Wilhelm, Oscar Hardwick in that line for 3rd position, and Carsten Wilhelm is looking like he's trying to line up Adam Taylor here for a pass.
Indeed, is he
going to do it?
Still for some issues for the backers with a few of the guys at the back. So interesting to see as well how this all pans out later on, because I'm pretty sure I'm expecting that traffic to be an issue as Adam Taylor goes wide there for the first corner of it, manages to hold on. But yeah, interesting to see how this goes when lap traffic possibly has an effect, seeing how the leaders deal with that, because it is a very tight track, so it's interesting to see how they go. But Adam Taylor...
Yes, I think he may have tried giving back some time there after his track. Okay, no, it's fair enough. He's not lost anything. Smart stuff there to give back the time without giving back the position. That's okay. But it does mean that I thought Carsten was going to go for a move there, or was going to at least look into Tower Bend as he comes to the Jim Clark S's, and then exceeds all of the track limits, as they all do. That's a common thing. Sorry. Sunny in, sunny out though. Anything doing here? This is not an easy place to make a move. Very single file as this double apex right-hander comes back on itself, and this trio basically allowing Cedar Wire to confirm himself in 2nd position, setting some great times. Obviously a little bit off of Nicky Jakovic. Oh wow, look at that, Oscar Hardwick right on the back of Carsten Wilhelm. Nearly gives him a little bit of a tap like Carl Edwards and Kyle Busch last night in the old NASCAR. Yeah.
Nazis, yeah.
Bit of a real world reference there. Cool. Yeah, I don't know what's going to be happening to them. They seem to be saying single file. I'll get those words out eventually. They seem to be single file for now. That will change as this race progresses. I will tell you that for free. I know Oscar Hardwick won't want to be beaten by Adam Taylor, especially after all the kind words between the two of them after Silverstone Race 1.
Yeah, no, definitely. He'll be more than happy, I'm sure, to just let that happen. Not really, but yeah, but he's going to be fighting hard. But he has to get through, of course, Carsten Wilhelm first for him to get Adam Taylor. And Adam Taylor's holding for the moment. Wilhelm really is all over the back, and it's interesting to see too that actually Nicky Jakovic has lost quite a bit of time to Cedar Wire there. So I wonder what's happened there. Yeah. Possibly a little bit of maybe a little bit of an error from Nicky, might be what that was, because he was leading by a pretty decent mark, and Cedar has gained quite a bit on him.
A lot. Yeah, look, he's still gaining a little bit, isn't he?
So maybe they'll fight around. This Nicky's just kind of conserving his pace, maybe, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. But at the moment, Nicky's holding. I think this battle for third's a little bit closer right now, as Adam Taylor really has Carsten Wilhelm all over the back, and that three-wide car is looking very feisty right now to take that podium spot. And Oscar Hardwick behind is not looking too bad. Here we go.
Bit of contact. That was always going to happen. Yeah. A bit more contact. Bit of contact there from Oscar Hardwick. Just going to point out that hairpin looks like a beautiful way of taking opportunity. It's awful. This is allowing Christian Michel though to catch up to the back of these three, so they've got to be careful. And I know Oscar Hardwick's getting a bit edgy now. Oscar Hardwick is not wanting Christian Michel to catch up to the back, but he's really pushing. Obviously, Christian recently a VEC race winner back at Istanbul Park, and so obviously got the pace in that car. This is also allowing Perotti, who's third in the championship, to catch up as well.
Oh, here he goes. Oh, there's a look. Oh, Carsten nearly had a look into the sweeping right-hander, but wasn't able to make it stick. And again, look at what this is doing. You've got Christian Michel coming at him, Peroti's coming at them, Strachey's coming at him, Bert's coming at them. So a bunch of guys behind this, they're going to get involved very soon. So this could well turn to almost a 6-car fight if these guys aren't careful. Wilhelm has another little bit of a half look into the sunny out section, but not really, as you said, not really a spot to overtake. But yeah, it's very close right now for Spell for third, and Cedo is keeping with Nicky, which is very interesting to see.
It's good for us.
It is good for us, yes. That could be a very interesting battle for the lead, potentially, but keep an eye on that for you. But I think at the moment, Spell for third is really hitting up Wilhelm again, as close to the hairpin, but he can't do it once again with the hairpin. As you said, I think that really does lure you into false sense of security, that hairpin. You think you can just dive it up the inside, but really it's
too
not
tight.
Easy. Yeah,
it's too tight. The only moves I've seen through there, except for one brilliant move from David Carter, it's all contact through that hairpin. But yeah, it's not the best place to overtake. The best place to overtake is if you get a good run out of this first chicane, out of Hawthorns, and then through the second chicane, and then on the run down to Tower Bend. That's the best place, really, to make a move. There's not too many other places that you can actually, do what you love doing and just throwing it down the inside. I know you love that.
Exactly, yeah.
But Cedo's dropping back a little bit now. I'll say that. But obviously, we'll keep an eye on that. And it means, though, that must have been a mistake from Nicky, which means that he is susceptible to mistakes. Oh, whose stack just crashed? I just heard the bang.
Yeah, I did too. I think it was just... I don't know. I don't see anyone. Yeah, I think it may have just been someone maybe with a contact, something like that. But we have had 4 retirements, by the way, so we're up down to 21 cars at the moment. So the attrition rate of Croft is hitting relatively hard. Look at this. Wilhelm right behind Taylor. Taylor defending the inside line again. We try and send out for turn 1. It'll be a brave move if you do it down there. But Taylor gets a really nice exit there out of the last corner. Actually, it was interesting. He was defending the inside and still managed to get a pretty good exit out of that hairpin. It's quite impressive. But yeah, what's going on?
Oh, the lead battle's coming down.
It is. Yeah.
Go on, Cedo. Not that we have any bias. We just want a really good, duel for the win. Because who doesn't love a good duel for the win?
Exactly.
It's exciting. It's on it. Carsten Wilhelm's got a good run now. I don't think it's good enough. He might have a look here at Tower Bend. Let's have a look. Is he gonna? Oh, he doesn't.
No.
All right.
Fickle.
He just needs to keep him under pressure. I think Adam knows that he's there, and the more pressure that Carsten piles onto the back of Adam, the more likely, obviously, he's going to be to make a mistake. And you make a mistake around here, and it's problematic. Oh, look at this. Oh, it's Tower into Sunny in, Sunny out. He's looking. I say not a place to make a move, but he'll try. Someone's going to try it. I think someone probably has tried it in the race and probably hit someone off. So. They can enjoy penalties after that, I guess.
Indeed. Again, just mentioning this is important for the team. Oh, actually, no, we'll keep it on Wilhelm. He's really close to the hairpin. But again, Taylor's defending the inside line, and again, Wilhelm has nowhere to go. So I think he has better pace overall. He just doesn't quite have enough to make a move stick. But especially being Croft, you really do need to be a pretty fair bit quicker to actually make a move stick, just because of how tight the circuit is. But look at he's right behind him. He really is almost pushing him around the circuit at this point. He just can't seem to be quick in the right places to make a move stick. But he's looking like he's getting a decent exit through here, is he? Let's have a look as he goes through the chicane. Again, he's kind of... he's a bit closer this time, I think. He might actually have a good chance. Sort of.
I see. Again, it stalls, doesn't it? It stalls. There's not enough, slipstream and stuff. They are very close. The thing is, I did a race around this circuit about a year ago. Started 8th, finished 3rd. Now, the only ways that you make up positions around here is through other people's mistake or using a bit of your bumper. Talking about using a bit of bumper, Carsten Wilhelm there trying to throw it down the inside. Wow, that was close. He was locking up all over the place there, not to hit the back of Taylor. Good stuff from that. But look behind as well. Christian Michel right in the back of Oscar Hardwick. And Alejandro Perotti right behind him as well.
Yeah, and I think it was Hardwick made a mistake through the middle part of the circuit, which is what's dropped him off the... a little bit of contact between Michel and Hardwick, because Hardwick just kind of stops it on the apex. But yeah, Yeah, he had a little mistake in real part of the circuit, and that's what's cost him the time to Wilhelm. So it's split into 2 packs now. And Adam Taylor's actually just got a little bit of a breather from Carsten Wilhelm at the moment, just briefly, temporarily. He's also, by the way, Cedo has dropped back a little bit from Nicky again. Yeah, he's dropped back actually quite significantly there. So Nicky seemed to have found that pace back again, and he is just slowly eking up that gap again. But again, Michelle, he's there or thereabouts, but he just can't quite get close enough. Again, he'll have a look, Willie, half looks, and again, he can't do it. So similar themes we're seeing here in this race, and I suspect it's going to be a running theme. Just with the way these cars are and the way this circuit is. A shout out to Strachan, as you mentioned. He started in midfield. He's in 11th at the moment, so it's good for Magenta Warriors. They'll want Eric to be gaining as many spots as he can to try and limit the damage that 3 Wide does to them in the team championship. Although Marius Bert's only 9th, so I think the gain and the loss will be similar at least.
Oh, you say Marius Bert's 9th? He's off the road a little bit. Oh, he's Brambili nearly smashed into the back of him as well. That was close. Yeah, he just overcooked Tower in. God, Sunny in. I'll get these corner names right one day. Don't worry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. The gain for 3 Wide here, apologies, is not going to be too drastic. It's important for the team championship. Unfortunately, I think Vires are a bit out of reach at the moment. They've got 2 top class drivers at the moment that know what they're doing in these cars. So I don't think there's much we can do about the lead battle, but this battle for second between 3 Wide Motorsports 1 and Magenta Warriors, at least for now, and until one of them misses around. I'm pretty sure one of them will at some point during the season. So at least for now, though, we've got a team battle going on for second.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, no, very true, very true. Is everything a little bit quieter now? Things are just spread apart a little bit. So Adam Taylor has managed to get a little bit of a gap over Wilhelm. Now it's about a second, or just under a second, but he's got a few car links back to Carsten. Now Oscar's got a little bit of a gap to Christian Michael at the moment. And then Poitiers a little bit behind. So they're just not quite as close to the road before. They are still line astern, relatively speaking, anyway. It actually looks like Oscar Harburg is just starting to close back in on that battle for third again. Now he's... I say that...
Oh, good man. Good line.
Yeah. Good old commentator's curse. Just timed it perfectly on Oscar there. I was just about to say he was getting his pace back, and he almost loses it through sunning out. But anyway, he's actually going to come under threat from Michelle here. Ooh, I think there might have been a little bit of contact there too. Michelle, yeah, a little bit of a love nudge to the backside, but Michelle not managing to make the move stick, and Oscar holds for the moment, but he's still managing to slowly catch back on Wilhelm, I reckon. So
just a little,
yeah, third and fourth start to battle again. I think that could all start to get very close again between third all the way down to about 7th or so, as Candice Strachey is a bit of a gap behind. And Bert's still holding, by the way, to Bram Beelan, but Beelan is holding station at the moment, so could be a potential good battle for 9th developing.
I will say the track limit abuse through Hawthorns, the first chicane, is pretty hilarious. From a couple of these drivers, I do hope that a couple of these people get in. Not, but I think there needs to be a little bit of a judgment call on this. Just, like Silverstone was wet weather, wasn't it? So we've got to be a bit, careful of that. As this looks a bit of a mistake from. Wow, that's nuts! I've just watched Adam Taylor from Swingman Cam. I don't know if this is what they're all doing through Sunny in. It's nuts. They've got so much grip on the front end. It's ridiculous. I want a flat six that drives like this. Oh, dear.
Yeah, just chuck it in.
Yeah, God, it looked really good through there. Thank you, Jimmy. There just needs to be a bit of a calming down from some of these guys at the moment when it comes to track limits, particularly through T2. Nikodem Wisniewski leaves the server. He'll be back for race 2. Of course, there's Cedar. Woo! Cedar Wire totally sideways through T1. Good man for catching that one. Oh.
Yeah, indeed. Good save. Good save indeed. It's actually Carsten Wilhelm is pretty damn close to Adam Taylor right now. This is probably the closest it's ever been. He gets a pretty decent exit out of the chicane. He's going to have a look here. He's having a look to the inside, but Adam's covering that inside line. Ooh. He's having to go the outside line, go round the outside into the sweeping right-hander. He's going to try and hold. Surely not with the dirty stuff out there. He wouldn't do that. No, he won't. So Taylor holds. Good defensive driving there from Taylor. We saw him coming pretty early on and covered that quite nicely. But it's looking to me like Wilhelm's just picking up that pace once again. As Adam Taylor, well, gets very adventurous with the track limits there. But either way, Wilhelm looking pretty feisty at the moment. Again, like he has all race. He's been right behind him for the entire race. 18 minutes now he's been behind him and not had a chance to get by. But I really wouldn't be surprised if he gets by, or at least gets a half chance again soon, because he's looking especially close in these last few laps.
Absolutely. Christian's also right on the back of Oscar Harwick, but I think this battle for third is obviously the more prominent here. And Adam Taylor under some serious pressure now from Carsten Wilhelm. So keep an eye on this battle for third. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to have some moves. The problem with Tower is that you can get a cutback there, but then it puts you on the outside for the Jim Clark S's. So it's a bit, this is going to be an exceeding track limits for Adam Taylor there. Interesting through T2. Oscar's did the same thing. Oh, Oscar's got problems now. Oscar has got problems now. This is going to be bad. Someone's going to die. Holy moly. Christian Michel. Good move. That takes some serious, I don't even need to explain. Good stuff from Christian. A bit of a lock up there for Adam Taylor as Carsten Wilhelm tries to cut back onto the inside. Does not work. Stays in fourth.
Yeah, indeed. And I was just watching now. I think boys, Poitiers gets that very wrong through chicane, but got a little bit distracted. I think by Oscar Harwick there, but Oscar just went a bit late breaking the sweeper. He nearly went up the back of Michel there as Michel was defending, but thankfully they managed to sort themselves out without too much drama. But the battle is continuing on. Michel is now into fifth, and again Wilhelm is just right behind Adam Taylor. And I really wouldn't be surprised if the guys behind catch up soon, because they seem to be consistently at least similarly paced. And if these two start having a really big scruffle for third spot, then I really wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a 5-car fight soon. And Strategy actually catching at a relatively alarming rate too, so it's all getting a bit close here as we head towards the last 10 minutes of this race.
Absolutely, it is spicing up all across this field as we enter that last third of the race. Oh, Carsten Wilhelm, what a mate! He's been really nice on track limits to TT. Oh, making me proud. But yeah, Oscar Harwick's got some serious pressure from Alejandro Puoti, who ignores track limits to the second chicane. Oh, God. Yeah, this is getting close now. Oscar Harwick's looking like he's going to drop even further down this order as this top. We'll go through the top 10 very quickly. Why not? Nika Jakovic is obviously leading by 3.4 seconds and not caring about the rest of the field. God damn it. He's doing an absolutely superb job at the front of the field. Sid Wire in second place, doing an excellent job as well. Adam Taylor using his defensive driving against Carsten Wilhelm, who's doing...
hang on. Sorry to cut in, but it looks like Poitiers Harwick. Yeah.
Good move.
So basically Harwick just went a bit too deep in the sunny in and went wide off track, and that gave Poitiers the chance to go through. Good opportunistic move there, to be fair, from Poitiers there to see that chance and grab it. So Oscar Harwick now in seventh, and as I say, Canestrazzi is there and he's catching. Even Marius Bird in far behind. So Oscar Harwick seems to struggle a bit. He really is having a lot of issues. Very slightly out of the last corner. So I think he's having some issues right now in these last phases of the race. I think he needs to maybe just try and get back in the zone. I'm not sure if he's just having some issues with concentration or if it's the tyres or something, but yeah, looking like he's really not having a terribly fun time in that car right now.
Maybe it's all the dirt he's picking up from cutting T2. He's the one that's doing it the most as far as I can see, but I've not checked everyone, so it's not my job either. It just annoys me. But anyway, yeah, as going through the top 10. Oh, Carsten Wilhelm's going to top. Wow, that was close from Carsten Wilhelm at Tower Bend. Oh, he's on the... Oh, he's kept this. Oh, what a move from Carsten Wilhelm up to third position. Wow. That was truly a stunning move there. Well done, Carsten Wilhelm. Adam Taylor ignores the second part of the Jim Clark S's. And yeah, he's now down into fourth position, sliding his way through... Hernan Gonzalez is out of the race. He was down in 13th position. But yes, that means that Carsten Wilhelm is now going to be up into third position. Adam Taylor's going to be looking on the inside of this final complex. It's not going to do. That's not going to work. He's going to try and keep it around the outside and be on the inside for the hairpin. Don't try it, Adam. This is going to be bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's contact there again. Stop hitting him, Adam. My God. What is going on with these boys right now? But yeah, Carsten Wilhelm, third position. Adam Taylor in fourth. Christian Michel caught right at the back of this podium position in fifth. Didn't have the best first race back in Silverstone, but he's now looking like he's on top form. Alejandro Puoti in sixth. Oscar Harwick dropping off the back of this in seventh. Daniele Canestracci in eighth position, catching right at the back of Oscar Harwick, to be fair. Marius Burt in ninth, way back from this lot. And quite a bit in front of Bram Bielen in 10th. Then we've got Eric Strano in 11th, who's in a world of his own, so great. Either way, back to the top lot of bashing each other about. Fourth and fifth looks like it could be a fight pretty soon, because I'm pretty sure Christian has got the pace on Adam Taylor, who I'm not even going to say anymore. It's so annoying to see.
Yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, especially when you're yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So, yeah, it's a bit interesting, but either way, it's going to be a very close fight, I suspect, because yeah, Michelle seems to be looking pretty strong as we're going this late phase of the race. So we will see as Taylor's showing he's not going to live without, he's not going to die wondering basically in this race. So he will try and move if there. So could be interesting.
Oh, sorry, Harvick went really deep to the hairpin. I think Cannister actually followed him. I thought he was going to lose the position there. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
carry on.
All good. Yeah, no, Cannister, as I said, looking good. He's been pretty consistent in this race. Been on his own in the 8th spot for a lot of that first half, but he's looking pretty good to possibly challenge Oscar for 7th here, and that would be pretty big in the championship because Oscar's going to lose some pretty significant points to the likes of Adam Taylor and Carsten Wilhelm and even Cito Wire as well. So, again, credit to Cito too. We haven't really seen him too much because he's just been cruising in 2nd spot, but it'll be a really good chunk of points for him and hold that together, which will be really good for his championship hopes and so on, as Carsten Wilhelm goes a little bit wide the sweeper there, just getting a bit of dirt on those tyres. But either way, yeah, it's interesting, very interesting stuff right now. That battle is kind of calmed down. It seems like they've all sort of stabilised on their pace, but I really wouldn't be surprised if it kicks off again soon because it's just kind of teetering on the edge of really getting very interesting these last. We're nearly 5 minutes to go in this race.
Yeah, absolutely. As Jakovic has got a bit of lap traffic here from Behar. But he's going to even get a little bit of a draft off of him, or not. I don't know what he's wanting here. Oh, there you go. He's looking at him. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gap for the lead is like 5 seconds now, so nothing's going to be doing there, and it's going to be the 3rd win in a row, provided nothing happens for Nicky Jakovic. And I'm not going to lie, don't expect anything to happen to Nicky Jakovic. He's too good at this.
Yeah, it's interesting. Taylor's just dropped back into the clutches of Michelle a bit, so looks like Wilhelm's now finally been able to skate, and he's finally gotten past Adam. He's actually got showing that pace that we knew he had, being corked up behind Adam Taylor. So he's finally just gapping those guys behind, and should surely, as long as all goes well, he should hold on to a podium spot, which I'm sure him and 3 wide will be very happy with. But if anything, Taylor's going to have to watch out for Michelle here, because Michelle's looking pretty good at the moment, pretty consistent, very straight drive. I've got to say, if that makes sense, if you know what I mean. Not very slidey, very consistent, very pointy. I'm showing that talent that Christian Michelle has. So he's looking very good right now in his late phase of the race. Tyres looking pretty good, car looking pretty good, so no real worries there. I think Taylor's looking a little bit more erratic.
Ragged,
if I'm honest. Yeah, a little more ragged. Yeah, it's the better term than erratic, I've got to be honest. But yeah, could be an interesting battle. Hopefully there will be one that we can watch in the last bit. Oscar Harbeck, by the way, is still holding on to 7th. He's just holding off Cannister at the moment, keeping him at arm's length, but it wouldn't take much for Cannister to have a look. But look at this, Michelle really is right behind Taylor, and you wouldn't think it'd be long until Michelle possibly has a look somewhere. He's got 4 minutes to go, so you'd think probably 3 or 4 more laps to go.
Something like that.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a lot of time, but if an opportunity arises, then I'm sure he'll go for it, because he'd be happy to get another point for him, again, for his championship, especially after that pretty bad opening race of the season in Silverstone. I think he'll take any points he can get at the moment to try and keep himself in the championship hunt.
Yeah, Christian didn't have the best first round. I thought he had an alright second race, but no, evidently my eyes do deceive me. Or maybe he got some penalty points. I honestly don't remember. No, I think it was just I apologise. I just don't think he had a good round. But yeah, he's down actually in 11th. No, actually further down than that, sorry. Where is he? He's 12th in the championship. 12th in the championship is Christian. So, evidently, I think we all knew this, though, that Christian shouldn't be that low. You know, we know that he shouldn't be that low. We've got a bit of lap traffic here for Adam Taylor to work his way through, though. And to, this is going to be interesting. I think this lap traffic needs to get out of the way pretty quick.
He's in an awkward spot, though, isn't he? He's in the complex, which is really awkward to try and get out of the way. And that's... Oh, look at this.
This is bad.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. He's going to dive, I think.
I think that's fair enough. The lap traffic needed to get out of the way.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, he went wide at the hairpin, which was good, so fair enough. And in the end, that basically stays the same, actually. So that worked out pretty well.
I think it just closed up.
Yeah, I was just looking back at the battle between Burt and Beelan's been going on for a while, and there was a little bit of a nudge between the two of them for the hairpin, but it all worked out in the end. But yeah, no, very interesting. A little bit of a sideways moment for Taylor there through the second turn. That could give Michelle half a chance. We'll see. It was Michelle a
Nah,
little bit interesting.
Michelle slideways all the way through that bit. Slideways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sideways, slideways.
Slideways, yeah.
Yeah.
Canastracci's
it's-
also closing right up to the back of Oscar Hardwick. We've been talking about this one. Obviously, we're in the final few minutes of this race, and we will be closing in on that final lap very, very soon. Yeah, there's definitely not very long to go. We don't actually have an exact time, although you do on the broadcast. So it says at the top, we've got about 1 minute and a bit to go, or less than a minute to go. So I don't know. I'm pulling this off of like 30 seconds ago, I guess, which is the broadcast delay. I don't know. I would expect that this lap that Djakovic is about to start is the last lap of the race. In fact, I can pretty much confirm that, considering there's 29 and 30 minutes to go. So, last lap of the race for Djakovic.
And outside.
Oh! Yeah, I just clicked on board with Adam Taylor there and he just threw it down. Oh, this is good. This is good for Christian.
Oh, wow.
This is done.
This is going to be a great move he can do. I reckon you're right. He's got the advantage down the straight. So sure,
he's done it.
Wow. What a move.
Adam Taylor's going to try a bit around the outside, but that was nice. Adam Taylor has had 2 really, truly excellent moves done around the outside of him.
Indeed, yeah.
That's not even anything against Adam Taylor.
No, it's just they were just generally really amazing moves.
Either way, Adam Taylor down to 5th, Christian up to 4th, gets past Behar.
Oscar Hardwick and Canastracci.
Canastracci can try around the outside. He's overcooked it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which he did in the end. So.
Either way, though, to the front of the field, Niki Djakovic for the 3rd time in a row, going to be coming around this final complex of corners and has looked absolutely dominant in this race. And, we said this back in Silverstone. This is kind of what we expected from Niki, being so good in VEC. He's going to come across the line to win the first race here at Croft. Niki Djakovic victorious, followed by Sido Wire in an excellently gained 2nd position. Carsten Wilhelm had to pull off one hell of a move to get 3rd place done, but he is your final place on the podium. Fantastic drive from those 3. Oh, what's happening? Oscar Hardwick has 10th.
There was an incident between Canastracci and Hardwick. Into Sunny Inn, yeah. So, that's an interesting one. I don't actually know how to call that one. I think, that's a...
I'll have a look.
It's an awkward incident into the hay bales.
I don't think... No, it's Canastracci's fault, that was. Sorry. Canastracci just kind of threw it down the inside. I wouldn't be happy if I was Oscar. I know Oscar won't be. But either way, that's your top 3. We've got Christian Michel in 4th, Adam Taylor in 5th, Alejandro Poiti in 6th. Good stuff for him. Obviously 3rd in the championship. We'll probably move up to 2nd now. Marius Burt in 7th. So that is good for 3 wide number 1. And then Bram Beelen in 8th, Danielle Canastracci in 9th, Oscar Hardwick 10th, Eric Strana 11th, Jeppe Rasmussen in 12th, Rens de Kock in 13th, Tom Schenkels in 14th, Arnie Schoenvliet, pretty disappointing unfortunately, but he did lose a front bumper as well, so we'll roll with it. Down in 15th, Jimmy Nasula in 16th, Lassie Sorensen in his first race down in 17th, Thomas Behar in 18th, Steven Vage in 19th, retirements Hernan Gonzalez, Jesper Christensen, Matalana, Ben Janssen, Sofianik, and of course Wisniewski. Now I think some of these drivers really need a strong talking to after that race, but you can't say it was boring. It was pretty exciting, just quite annoying.
It's an interesting way to end that race for that instance. It's good for Burt and for Beelen because they gained 2 extra free spots out of that one. But yeah, a little bit of an interesting little incident at the end of that. And as you say, I'm sure Oscar will be a little bit annoyed about that, which is probably fair enough. Though it did look like it was a bit of a over-ambitious move there at the end of the race. But again, I guess that last lap kind of fever takes over at that point. But it can happen on occasion. But otherwise, I've got to say, I mean, obviously, putting track limits aside, no, other than one incident that was a multi-car incident into the final complex, there's no other major incidents in terms of multi-car crashes or anything. So, good to see that they managed to get through the race without having, half the field wiped out by one crash, which is good. So, better than the BTCC can manage. So, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It just means that we're obviously better drivers here than BTCC.
Exactly,
Oh, dear.
I don't know if that's a compliment or if that's I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to put that either. I can't say that there was less contact in this than a BTCC race. There was a lot of a lot of good old love taps.
Mm.
Kissing the bumpers, pushing people through the corners and shit. Ooh, sorry, apologies. Stuff like that. Okay, we will go to a second qualifying session in a few minutes time. I think it's 10 minutes time, something like that. I don't know. Where, of course, it's a couple of minutes until we advance to Q2. Cool. What will happen is we will obviously have the second qualifying session, which is to set the order for race 2. There's no wait, there's no anything like that. Not like we see in other leagues or anything like that. There's no reverse grid. So this is a complete reset. So for people like Nikodem Wisniewski, who we did see right up to the front of the field, it was we'll see people like that who will have a second chance. Oscar Hubbeck says it's his fault for the kind of stretchy thing. I do apologize for calling that wrong. I thought it was kind of stretchy, but I didn't see earlier on in that incident. I don't know. That'll be one for the stewards, I guess.
Yeah,
don't really know.
That's more for the stewards to call than us, so we'll let them deal with that one. But yeah.
But either way, we do have a second race in front of us, and I'm not going to lie. What do you think, Nicky Jakovic? Second race win, fourth race win in a row.
I've got to say,
it's looking likely, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, Cito did have that moment where we thought he was closing in the sort of, I think it was about 5 to 10 minute mark, but I think that was, as we discussed, probably more a little bit of an error from Nicky than any pace, because after that, Nicky just slowly but surely opened that gap again to Cito. Good to see Cito, at least kept him honest throughout the race. I think he was only 5 or 6 seconds off in the end, so good to see at least kept him on his toes throughout the race. He wasn't just completely walking away with it, so that's good. But yeah, I hate to be just kind of like that's how it is, but I think Nicky's probably going to run away with the second win surely here at Croft, you would think, barring any kind of issues, technical issues or anything like that. But yeah, surely if everything goes as has been going, I'd say Nicky's probably going to walk away with the next one. I think Cito again will probably, judging from the pace, I would say Cito should surely comfortably take another second. But it'll be interesting. I mean, if Wilhelm can either qualify ahead of Taylor or pass him early on, it'll be interesting to see if he can catch Cito, because we didn't really get to see where his ultimate pace was because he was stuck behind Taylor for most of the race. So if he can get clear air and not be in a battle for all of the race, it'd be interesting to see where Wilhelm could end up, because I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be at least similar pace to Cito. So it'd be interesting to watch.
Absolutely. Of course, we have had a challenge from the audience watching. It's like throwing down the gauntlet. Hani Al-Sabti definitely needs to be in the next round. So you get in one of these cars, mate. That would be great to watch. Hani Al-Sabti and Nicky Jakovic going at it. Of course, though, we do have a calendar in front of us. We've got more rounds to come. Of course, when we end up in Croft, we will be going to Imola, which is obviously a track that we all really do. I quite like anyway.
No, I definitely agree on that one.
It's a bit of Imola, surely. And then we go to Hockenheim, then we go to the Red Bull Ring, then we go to Le Castellet, which is obviously Paul Ricard, then we go to Donington Park, back to the UK, and who doesn't love a bit of Donny? It'll probably be wet at that point of the year. It is September. Then we go to Spa, where it will definitely be wet, like 2,000% chance of wetness. Then we go to Oschersleben and then Estoril to end the season. So, an interesting mix of calendars in front of us, and not really many like Croft on there. There's a great mix of tracks on that calendar that will challenge people in different ways. So that's obviously what we want to see as the second qualifying session has started.
Indeed, yeah. So it looks like I'm trying to pick up to the first. This looks like kind of Stratzy looks to be the first one out, so he'll be the first one around, is he or not? Have I got that wrong?
No. Let's have a look. I'll find out. It's fine.
Oh, is Adam Taylor? It's Adam Taylor, actually. Yeah, it's Adam Taylor, sorry.
He was first out last time, yeah. That's not a surprise. Yeah. Of course, made a mistake in the final complex, and boom goes his front right suspension. However, this should be a session of redemption for some of these boys. Hopefully, I'm hearing loads of crashing already. But hopefully we won't have too many issues like we saw in the first race, and hopefully we see some good racing as Adam Taylor's really under attack on the outlap from Arnie Schumbliet here. I don't really know what's going on. Either way, Adam Taylor looks like he'll be the first one to set your lap time. Your benchmark time, of course, is an out lap, so it doesn't matter yet. But I wonder what time it will be. I'm going to assume it will be a high 18 from Adam Taylor when he completes this lap. What
Yeah,
wild stab in the dark that is. I
Hmm.
also reckon pole position will be faster than the 17.9 this time.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, everyone's getting a bit fresh. You know, everyone's getting used to the track. Everyone, you know, they know what's happening here. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised. Being Nicky, I wouldn't be surprised if he just pulls a mid-19 out of nowhere and just kind of laughs at everyone as he walks off in the sunset. So.
Nicky is unfortunately quick. He makes me feel bad. Wouldn't it be great if we had like Mr. Catholic and Kevin Siggy as well? Oh, we need to get those two in as well.
We really do. We need to. So that's our job for next round.
Yeah,
to
get those
somehow
two
common
over
into racing here.
Exactly. It's all right. Just offer like bribes, you know. Bribes. Oh, totally sideways here into Sunny in from Adam Taylor. See, that's what I mean. Like, how's that a thing? It wasn't a thing. Oh!
Jeez.
Wow.
That's that lap's done.
I'm going to say Adam should have pulled off the road there. That's not okay.
And
now he gets out of the way. That's not okay. That's very unfortunate there for Arnie Schindler. Arnie will be the first person to set a lap time. Arguably should have been a bit quicker than this after he had to break the car. I don't mean break the car. Break.
It's only 18.8 though, so
it's not bad, is it? Carsten Wilhelm an 18.6 goes onto your provisional pole position. Oh my God! Wow, only by 1,000th of a second. Cool. Nicky Jakovic onto provisional pole position. Of course, the session will get faster and faster as the session goes on. But yeah, Arnie, that's an all right lap time, especially considering he had a Vires in front of him. As your first set of lap times are coming in.
Indeed, just looking through. I'm kind of watching a few guys out of curiosity. It's interesting, but yeah. No, all the time's starting to come in. Nicky, of course, as per usual, got the... sorry, a bit of a yeah, interesting to see as well. He's just at, obviously, the first lap, so he's only 1,000th second, but still, he's on provisional pole. He's in a perfect part of the track right now. He's got pretty much no one around him. It's just all going really just that well for Nicky. I really am super jealous. I wish my race weekends went half as well as this.
know.
Anyway.
I know. I don't know if you're doing it, but of course I've got a race weekend coming up soon. That's the lovely Monaco circuit where we'll never get any clip. Either way, keep an eye on Nicky Jakovic on this lap, because this lap, I will tell you for free, will not be an 18.6. This is going to be a monster lap. I mean, he's messed up a little bit of that final hairpin, I think. I don't know. As Arnie Schindler did go on to pole position there on an 18.3, but here he goes across the line to an 18.1. There we go. Yes, Nicky Jakovic onto your provisional pole position again. Ahead of Arnie Schindler, who's being careful to rejoin the circuit. Also, Bram Beenen being careful to rejoin the circuit. That's very nice of him. So, Arnie doing very well in this qualifying session so far. Carsten Wilhelm in fourth, just gets bumped down by Sido Wyatt into third position. Adam Taylor in fifth at this moment. Of course, I say this qualifying session is going to get mental in the final 10 minutes.
Definitely, yeah. Good to see Arn there in second as well, so that's going to be good for him. He'll be trying to get back, as you say, he'll be one of the drivers looking for redemption, definitely, after that last race, after the spin at turn 1, basically being on the fight back for the entire race. So as you say, he's still at 15th in the end, and considering he lost his front bumper at some point as well, it's a pretty solid comeback to end up getting the top 15 by the end, but yeah, I think he'll definitely be looking to get some redemption for this second race, and hopefully for his, hopefully he can. It'd be good to see another one up in amongst that top fight to spice things up even more, because it was already pretty interesting fight at the front, and adding another one there would just make it even more fascinating. So definitely one to watch as we go towards, we're into the last 10 minutes now, so it should start getting very interesting in the next few minutes.
Yeah, of course. Arnie, we do know, has got some good pace. You say he lost the front bumper now. Oscar Harwick messaged me and said that he lost the front, like a little bit of the front splitter, had some front splitter damage. I don't know if that was actually the bumper. I didn't look. No, the bumper wasn't off. It was just like some splitter damage, and that was causing him quite a bit of understeer.
Okay.
What would it have been like for Arnie Schindler, who, you know, no front bumper at all? There's no real front aero. It wouldn't have been fun. I'll tell you that for free. His front tyres must have Oh, they must
Yeah,
not
they've
have been
been
fun
cooking.
towards the end of the race. Yeah,
Yeah.
cook a fried egg on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I've I've driven a race with one recently, Lewis, at the Round One WSS QV. Sochi, that first race I lost to
Yeah.
front bumper pretty early on, and that was not fun at all. I've got to say, and
Didn't
that's a
you
track
roll?
where it's no, I didn't
There
roll.
was a
Someone else
lot
did.
of
That was
rollers at that round.
yeah, there was. It wasn't me, but someone else did roll.
Rollers
Yes,
like a
but
gang. There's loads of
yeah.
rollers.
But yeah,
Um,
no, it was quite. It's not fun at all. You really do, because obviously got no front hero. It really is just masses and masses of understeer. It's not fun at all. And that was at Sochi, which is a lot of straights, obviously. So you don't actually lose as much time without a front bumper. Whereas here at Croft, you would lose a lot of time without a front bumper. So yeah, it is not fun at all. So yeah, I can imagine. Especially Arn, who didn't have a front bumper there at the end of that first race, it would have been very much, as we said, it would have been a lot of pain. A lot of pain. I would have been raging a little bit under that helmet trying to deal with that for a whole race, but yeah.
yeah, it would have almost been at the point where I just pulled over and exited if I, if like you're not aiming for a championship, team championship or whatever, I would have just been like, oh, I can't do this. I just, yeah.
Fair enough.
As Niki Djakovic crossed the line, did another 18-1, not quite better than his previous, although I'm just going to check his sector splits here. Oh, that's depressing. Yeah, he can go about a tenth quicker than that comfortably. I don't know what that's like in comparison to his previous sector splits, but at this early point in the session, you'd be expecting Niki Djakovic to get into those 17s. There's Arnie exits the final corner, 2 wheels on the grass. That's not going to help, my friend. That's not the correct line. As he's on an outlap anyway, so it's okay.
Yeah, interesting to see his... Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine, it's fine. We've got Alejandro Puoti, who's... No, sorry, he's pulled off. Kind of stretch. He's another one through. I'm just trying to find out who's on laps and not. Anyway, carry on.
Yes, no, I was just going to say it's interesting to see, again, that gaps between the field. So... Especially again, it's that kind of 5th, 6th down to even 14th is very close, which is very interesting. See, as Taylor improves there and stays 6th, but does improve, so closes on Poeti a bit there. But good to see as well. Brown Beelan there in 10th again, showing some good pace once more. It's like he did in race 1. And Marius Burton 13th, so he's got more pace there. We know he does. So I'm sure he hasn't quite nailed the lap that he's after yet. So look to him to probably jump up the order in these last 6 or so minutes. Strahn's 12th at the moment, by the way, so he's in amongst the mix again, but it's going to be interesting to see how he goes, because again, that last race, he was just kind of his own world for a lot of that race, just kind of cruising in 11th spot. He didn't seem to have the pace to keep with the guys ahead, but he didn't really but he had the pace over the guys behind, so he was just kind of in no man's land, really, throughout that race. So I'm really interested to see if he can, as I said, I would be expecting him to improve as this round goes on, so hopefully, especially for our sake, when we get some good racing, hopefully he'll be in amongst that back end of the 10 in that fight with sort of Beelan and Co for the next race. We'll see as this qualifying session goes on.
You would expect it. He was hit off at Tower Bend in the previous race, but didn't quite have the pace of the people in front of him anyway, so that's all right, I guess. Either way, in that, Nikodem Wisniewski moved up into 7th position whilst you were saying all of that, and it seems Puoti out of the final corner now. Very interesting line there out of the final corner. Across the line, doesn't improve. Oh, he's on an outlap. God, I'm never going to get this right. Adam Taylor, he's pulling off his lap. God, everyone's just pulling off. Can people just finish laps? Oh, dear. Yeah. Niki Djakovic, likely to get pole position. His 3rd in a row. Do you know what would really spice us up? Bit of what we had at Silverstone. Bit of rain.
Rain. Yeah.
Bit of rain.
Would agree. Yeah, that would definitely make things very interesting if we get a bit of rain for the race, especially with the dry qualifying. Well, what's happened?
That was naughty from Beelan. I don't know. I can't even remember who it was in front of him. But there was a bit of contact between him and a driver that was a bit slower, and yeah.
That was Jesper Christensen.
Christensen, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I don't know. Either way. Well,
and Nicky's in the 17th, by the way.
There you go. That's the same pole time he did last race, so consistency. Yeah. Cedar Wire moved himself up into 2nd again. And this is a much more promising qualifying session for Arnie Schumliet.
Oh. And Jimmy just squashes our hopes for rain. Apparently, the weather forecast says 0% chance of rain at Croft at the moment, so
Yeah.
not looking like we're going to get that rain dance, which is a real shame. But anyway.
It's all right. This is where you just go, Jimmy, there's rain in the area. You know? No, there's no rain in the area. It's going to be sunny through this race. And yeah, I think Nicky Jakovic is on for possibly not another win. You've got to remember, right? Cedo nearly beat him into T1. He had a good start. The problem was the outside of the line through T1 is pretty good. Now, if you get a little bit more, aggressive, shall we say? I'm not saying contact, anything like that. I'm just saying, you break where you know you can break, right? And deal with it at that point. It is very possible that Cedo could take the lead. It or whoever's starting second could take the lead because they'll be on the inside for turn 1. Now, that's quite important. If you carry it through the inside of turn 1 and hold it there, then you're on the inside for this entire right-hand complex, and that means that you have track position, basically. You will be through. Or should be through, rather. So there is very big potential on this start for someone else to be leading. So do not rule out anyone else. Just assume it's probably going to be Jakovic and hope for the best. That's where the smart money would be.
Indeed, yes, no.
Oh, Carsten Wilhelm goes up into 4th position. I'll quickly run through the top 10 whilst we're here. As it's Jakovic on pole position, Wire in 2nd again, same front row as the previous race. Arnie Schumvliet in 3rd, Carsten Wilhelm 4th, Adam Taylor in 5th, Puoti 6th, Wisniewski in 7th. We know he's got a bit more pace. I think he actually did about 0.4 in the previous qualifying session. Christian Michel in 8th, Canastracci in 9th, and Oscar Hardwick rounding out your top 10. 1 minute 50 to go. These boys will be starting their final stints and very soon their final laps around this circuit in this qualifying session. Can anyone beat Nicky Jakovic to this pole position?
Yeah, it's at this point, it's, as you say, it's kind of like the safe money is on, probably not, but I mean, you never know. Cedo, as you said, he seemed to show glimpses at least of matching Nicky at that first race, so maybe you can pull a high and low, at least maybe 18 flat out of the bag somewhere, but that is 3/10, which is a lot of times, especially qualifying terms around this circuit. So I don't see anyone beating Nicky qualifying-wise, but again, if he can just get that start, if Cedo can get a really just ace that start, absolutely nail it, and then beat... Carsten.
Carsten Wilhelm to 2nd position. Take a seat. I think he's pulled off. Cedo wide over to the line, doesn't beat him. So Cedo's on his last lap now. Can he move himself back onto that front row? Carsten's off. Carsten's done. Carsten's not going to complete that lap. So this is it for Cedo. He needs to improve. Arnie coming up towards the final complex of corners as well. Adam Taylor to the line doesn't improve. Nikodem Wisniewski is going to be the next one through the hairpin, mounts that curb big style. Good lad. And now he's going to go straight for the line. Is he going to improve? Yes, up to 7th. Not good enough, really, to get himself onto that front row. Arnie didn't improve.
Interesting also to note, Renz de Kock is in 8th now, so he's looking pretty good right now. I think he was, I believe he was 12th. I think he was just behind Eric Strange at that first race, so he's looking like that. He's doing a similar thing to Strand. It seems like his pace is just improving slowly as the event's gone on. Yeah,
that does move. Oscar Hardwick and Eric Strand, both of them are outside the top 10. Now remember, these two came into this 2nd in the teams championship. They are really struggling here at Croft. Cedo Wire though, through the final complex of corners to the hairpin. Oh, a bit of a slide there. He's really trying. Oh, that's a mistake. That's a big mistake. This has cost him dear. This is not going to be a front row start, is it? Can he improve? No, he cannot. That is it. Arnie Schumvliet sliding his way through sunny in and sunny out. That's not going to be an improvement. Canastracci to the line. Can Canastracci do anything? He's currently in 10th position. 18.9 to his name. Goes to an 18.8. Moves up into 9th position.
Taylor's let off the accelerator, so I think...
That's it.
I think it's just really Hardwick and Michelle possibly on laps, but that's probably about it. Nothing Silva's on a lap of the midfield, but
14th at the moment. He's not going to improve as well. It's a real shocker.
So, Yeah, some real shake-ups for the second race. As you said, it
Hardwick.
looks like this. Yeah, this redemption is coming on. So Hardwick out of the last corner. Can he improve?
No.
No.
Christian Michel. Yes.
Yes.
Ninth.
Yeah.
These boys not improving enough. That is a bad qualifying session for Eric Strana and Oscar Hardwick. Again, second in the championship. Done. They are not going to keep that. That will definitely go to 3 wide this round. With Karsten
definitely.
Wilhelm starting on the front row. I know Marius Burt is behind, but Karsten Wilhelm starting on the front row. That is going to be a big deal. Oscar Hartwick's going to drop out of that second position in the championship himself, and I reckon Karsten's going to take it.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see this race. It could be really, really fascinating to see how this all pans out. So, nearly going to have just obviously a little warm-up break between the qualifying and the race, but yeah, but all very interesting. He will literally.
Right, welcome back. Getting ready for race 2 here. And yeah, we were just having a little bit of a discussion as to what is going to happen on the start of this race. Now, it's Karsten Wilhelm who's going to be starting on the front row with Nicky Jakovic, and we were just discussing that we potentially think that Karsten could be the right kind of driver to be taking that lead into turn 1. Your top 10 is Canastracci and Christian Michel. Renz de Kock, great qualifying for him in 8th. Then Wisniewski, who's a bit lower down than his previous race. However, starting in a pretty decent position. Hopefully he won't hit that track bug again. Alejandro Puotti and Adam Taylor, 5th and 6th. Schoenvliet and Wire, 3rd and 4th. And your front row of the grid will be Karsten Wilhelm from 2nd and Nicky Jakovic from pole. Is this going to be another good start for Nicky Jakovic? Is he going to be leading this entire race? Let's have a look as the lights have gone out, and it's a better start for Karsten Wilhelm. This is excellent stuff. Oh, look at that!
Oh, boy.
Was it Quoty? Yeah, everyone literally all over the back of Nicky Jakovic there. As he's going to be holding it around the outside, but it's going to be on the outside now. Oh, go on, Karsten. Karsten's going to have no. Nicky's going to have this. Nicky's got this. Oh no, he's not. Oh, there's a big crash back in the back of the field. Either way, Nicky Jakovic leading in controversial circumstances. I think he has to give that position back.
Yeah, he cut through the chicane. Yeah, and he was at least side by side. So surely,
no, that needs to be redressed. I think. Although how can we redress it? Either way, it's Nicky Jakovic leading. Karsten Wilhelm, Puotti, Schoenvliet, Wisniewski. Wire down to 6th, Taylor down to 7th, Christian Michel down to 8th, de Kock down to 9th, and Hardwick behind in 10th.
Indeed, yeah, and just pointing out a bit of a disaster for Brandon Brewer and his team. So Tom Schenkels was the guy who was involved in that turn 1 spin. He almost did a similar thing to Andy. He just spun into turn 1 with some contact and so on. Dylan is without a front bumper, so yeah. So, oh boy.
Naughty, naughty, naughty driving from Canastracci. Wow, that was bad. Canastracci, apologies, down in 11th position, basically hits Oscar Hardwick twice into 2 corners and then pushes him off the road. That is not good driving there from Canastracci. Obviously an LMP1 driver over in VEC really should know better, but yeah, that was poor driving there from the Texas drivers driver. It allows Eric Strana through into the top 10 though. And, oh wow, that's an interesting line to turn through that chicane. But either way, Nicky Jakovic leads 1 second over Carsten Wilhelm, who's leading a little bit over Alejandro Puetti.
Yeah, no, it's interesting to see. I did look back at the replay, and technically, again, I'm just trying to kind of take a view, I guess, from or make some sense of that incident with Nicky on the first lap, just for you guys watching, so you can kind of get an idea of what was going on there.
Oscar
Oh
Hardwick.
boy, oh boy.
Oh, that was.
boy,
wow, there's even stuff in front as well. What happened there to Taylor and Wire?
Yeah, I'm just going back and looking now.
I will say, Oscar Hardwick totally overcooked Sonny in. I don't know what happened with Wire and Taylor. What happened?
Oh, it's contact.
Oh dear.
Into Sonny in. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
there we go. Yeah, so it looks like Nicky
race
needs
control.
Yeah, so there we go. So race director has asked Nicky to redress that position, so give Carsten back the lead. So
there he goes. He's giving it back.
There you
go. Okay, good stuff from Nicky Jakovic. He's trying to give it back in a way that will not cost him any more than the lead. What he's done is he's slowed down enough on the straight that when he slows down here, he will not drop back to third. Good driving from Jakovic. He's very aware. Carsten Wilhelm takes the lead of the race. So there we go.
Behind. Yeah. Waity and Arne there very close, and even Nicky Dem's not far behind. Oh boy, this battle for 6th. It's DeCock and Michelle and Eric Strachan. Strachan in 8th, by the way, after all this. Yeah. So Strachan's, thanks to the guys around, he's got up to 8th spot, and there's Canastracci as well. It's very close to that battle for 6th spot, as Nicky Dem's actually going to get past Poiti into Sunny in as well, by the way. It's a battle for 4th. But yeah, very close fights at the moment, as Rasmussen there nearly had a incident, but Adam Taylor is 14th at the moment, just for reference of where everyone is, and Cedo has... Where's he gone?
11th is Cedo.
11th.
Okay, this battle between Christian, Eric, Renz de Kock, and now Daniele Canastracci's getting involved. Now Marius Burt's getting involved.
Cedo's
this
wide.
is nuts.
And Cedo just in the background
lane.
was sliding wide.
Jumped the start, I think. Yeah, it's a drive-through. That's not a stop and go, so that's not for track limits.
No, that's a jump start. So he's going to drop way down the field. He'll drop down to 16th, 15th.
Burt's off as well.
Oh yeah. He's going to go
over a good
there.
What happened there?
Yeah, I'll see. It's with Canastracci again.
He hit them bollards.
They're
lethal. Boom.
Do not touch them. Yeah.
Yes, be very, very careful. So yeah, not so good there. Bit of contact there. So 1-3 wide driver doing excellently here in the lead, and the other one falling back down the order, not so good. Obviously, what were you going to say?
Sorry, speaking of falling down the order, Oscar Hardwick 20th.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
Yeah. So it's interesting, differing fortunes for both of those teams, as Eric Strachan is actually up in 7th now. I mean, I'm sure Strachan will be chomping at the bit right now. He's doing a fantastic job in that position, and seeming from his qualifying, I think he may have sort of the pace to at least stick with these guys. At least stick with them. I don't know if he's going to make any more progress, but I think he'll at least stick with these guys. His qualifying pace there in the second qualifying was a little bit better than his one in the first. So, and he's doing a good job right now. He's actually got a little bit of a gap to Canastracci, so that's good stuff. As it's a bit of a battle at 11th. I think that's actually Adam Taylor getting into 11th spot, just passing Hernan there in the Martini Porsche. As I was commenting before to you, Lou, that is a very pretty Martini Porsche, I've got to say, in 12th spot. Very pretty. I do like that a lot, the Martini livery. But yeah, interesting stuff as Wilhelm continues to lead. Just a little bit of a gap back to Jakovic. And then interesting to see that Arne is actually keeping with these two, and he's putting up a good fight too.
He's off a bit there.
Wide through. Commentator's curse again, but the second time I've commentator's cursed someone. on this broadcast.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
stop doing that, but he was on the back, but that little mistake has just dropped him off the back. Nicodem in 4th at this point, looking better than that first race.
De
but the little
Kock in
glitch he had.
5th.
Ow!
De Kock
Very
in 5th.
impressive.
Good man.
Mm.
That is nice. I'm also just seeing that Martini livery on the broadcast. It looks really good. But yeah,
yeah.
De Kock in 5th. That is a really good start from him. Obviously, he's got Christian behind, but he's pulling away a little bit from Christian at the moment. So, yeah. What I was going to say about Eric and you saying about having the paceless top lot, considering everyone qualified with the exception of Niki Jakovic really close, much like in a couple of other leagues that we see, when people qualify that close, it's very likely that you just see them all in not necessarily a train, but everyone keeping up with each other. The lead battles closing down. 5th place. Yeah. Oh yeah, 5th place. De Kock's made a bit of a mistake there. Oh, that was naughty. That was naughty.
Boy.
He's gonna. Oh.
That was lucky. That was very lucky.
Very lucky.
Yeah, Michelle
very
he
lucky.
rebounded off De Kock into one of the
The bollards. Yeah.
The bollards of death. Yeah. So but somehow he managed to kind of deflect off the bollard harmlessly, and I don't think he's lost of the car. So very lucky.
Very lucky. But yeah, that was a bit naughty from De Kock to move over a little bit, but I think he just. I guess in there as he may not have seen the overlap. That's a naughty place to try and go for a move. I won't lie. It's a bit silly. But they're all right. Okay. We're all good here. So. We're all pals. Don't hit each other, please. It's a 3-10 lead, though, that Karsten Wilhelm has, and I think everyone knows that Niki Jakovic is the faster driver. But being this track, it's quite hard to make a move. We saw that in the first race. Wilhelm was one of the people that did one. And so, yeah, this is going to be tough for Karsten, but it is very possible. Nearly 10 minutes done, so he's got 2/3. Well, that is a long time. 2/3 of the race, just over to hold Jakovic back. Can he do it? Can he be the first man that isn't Jakovic to take a win this season?
We'll see. We'll see in for just over 20 minutes' time. But interesting to see as well, by the way, Pseudo Wider is coming back through the field, obviously, after
that's
that.
a good run as well.
He's in 9th with Canastrazzi right now, so and it's very close, actually. You might have a little look here down in the sweeper. He's going to look to the outside, and it looks like he might try it again. This is another outside. Go
for cutback?
In his races. We go for cutback? No, he won't.
It's not a good place to go for cutback. It's not good, mate.
He's still trying anyway. He's very close here in this battle for 8th spot. So Canastrazzi, that pace not quite there. Although he's seeming to slightly catch possibly this Canastrazzi. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, Wire holds for the moment in 9th, and Adam Taylor's just cleared 11th, so he's now in the 10th spot, and he's going to be catching that battle too. So yeah, but I think that main battle to watch is that one for 5th, definitely, because it is very close indeed.
Well, it's going to very soon be that battle for 1st, because Jakovic is super close. I expect there will be a move for the lead fairly soon. But until then, we do have Christian Michel right on the back of Renz de Kock. There's not going to be anything happening down into T1 for sure, but possibly Tower Bend at the end of the 2nd straight. Is anything going to be going there? We'll see if Christian gets a good drive through this corner. I think Eric Strano is just dropping the back of this top 2. Or the 2 in front of him, rather. I think he's just dropping off. That's a fairly good run for Christian. I think he might look around the outside. Or maybe look for an inside. Let's have a look. No, sorry. He's being smart. Good man.
Well, Wire's having a
Ooh, Sorensen's out.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
T1, I think that was.
Marius Burt's also out as well, so he just DNF'd after he missed at turn 1 with the bollards.
Have a guess what killed Sorensen?
The bollards.
It was the bollards, mate. Yes, it was. Oh, well, I mean, the thing is, I don't have a problem with the bollards. It's just, they're quite easy to not hit. Unless you get forced into them, at which point they're very easy to hit. Although I think Christian might or should really go and thank Marius Burt after this race for clearing some of those bollards out, because that contact with De Kock, if that had happened with all those bollards there, Christian would be out.
Yeah,
there's no question about it. Christian would be done.
Yeah, sure. No, I can definitely agree with you there. So lucky Can count his lucky stars, definitely can Christian Michel.
Absolutely.
He's very, very lucky indeed to get away with that after that little bit of a ricochet into the bollards of death, but he gets away with it for the moment. Wilhelm's still leading, but Jakovic is seriously looking threatening in that battle for first, but he does have 20 minutes or so still, or 19 minutes to be exact, roughly thereabouts, to make the move. So he's got time, and I think Nicky knows that. So I think he'll play the patient game. As we know Nicky. We know how quick he is. We know how cool-headed he is, how consistent he is. I think he knows what's going on. So he'll play it calm. He'll just see if any chances come up. Keep his cool for the moment. He's got plenty of time. Maybe just sort of, if anything, right now, I think what he'll do is he'll just size up Casting. Just have a look at where he's driving. Think, okay, I'm gaining on him here. I'm losing time here. Okay, this is where I might be able to make a move. This is where I probably won't be able to make a move. He'll just be thinking of a game plan, basically, to where he can make a move on Casting in these following minutes.
Yeah, pressure is everything. And around here, one little crack and you'll be off the road. So Nicky Jakovic will know that for sure. Of course, was susceptible to a mistake. Oh, fifth, yeah. Oh,
yeah. Just ran outside again.
No, it's all right. De Kock holds it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be... no, I think that's that one done for now.
Temporarily.
Temporarily, absolutely. Also, it seems like Nikodem Wisniewski is catching up a little bit to the back of Arnie Schumlit as he jumps all the way across that chicane. I made a promise before this that I wouldn't get salty about track limits, so I'm not going to, don't worry. Christian Michel, though, right on the back of Renz de Kock. I don't know. I see that this is... de Kock's overcooked that. Tower.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
No, he's going to get a good drive out. Oh, he's on the grass. He was going to get a good drive out of that. Whoa.
Close, though.
It is very close.
Again, kudos, though, even though these two are battling, kudos to Strawn. He's managing to hold on at the moment in that spot. And I think he would dearly love, I think, a top 10 at the moment after a bit of a struggle in race one, especially with a bit of a lack of practice, I suspect, as you were mentioning before, from him. So he'll definitely take a top... If he can take a top 5, I think he'd be over the moon, to be honest, Strawn.
Yeah.
So, and that'd be really good for the Magenta Warriors. So, honestly, I am cheering for Strawn, if I'm honest. I'll put my bias on the table very clearly. So there you go.
If you you aren't biased towards him, you should just check out the Hello Kitty on his car and then be instantly biased, Because that's just... Weird people. But yes, either way, I'm kind of cheering here for De Kock, who's doing a bit of a argy-bargy bit into T1 that one time. But he's doing such a good job.
First place.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Tower corner. Oh. No, this is good for Jakovic.
Oh, he's going to do it.
He's going to be on the inside of the Jim Clark S's. Oh, this is bad. Oh, that's totally over the track limits again. Oh, he's going to be on the inside for... Oh, my God! Oh, man. Yeah, that's it. That's done.
He's still trying, but I think that's done. Wow. God, that was...
That was nuts.
Yeah. It's interesting. It just shows the class of those two, though. To be able to go through those corners side by side at full speed is pretty impressive, really, because that was insane.
Yeah. Again, I don't know what wants to happen there. I think that would be one that should be investigated after the race, really, with that. I don't know how you want to decide on that track limit, because it's a bit... I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit of a heat in the moment kind of thing. So they're trying to go through the corner, and they kind of had to do that to make the corner work. So, yeah, and I think that was kind of a in the heat of the moment thing. But again, might be one to look at after the race, possibly.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Carsten Wilhelm. Will he drop back from Nicky Jakovic now, or will he keep on the back of him? I think we all kind of know what's probably about to happen. See you, Nicky. But, to be fair, Carsten Wilhelm's fastest lap is an 18.6. That's not a slow lap. In fact, their fastest laps are exactly the same. Oh, De Kock!
Yeah, I'm trying to go back and check if there was any kind of incident with Michel and see why that gap is suddenly growing.
It was through the chicane. He turned left too quick. Oh,
ooh.
That is such a shame for De Kock. But that means that Christian Michel and Eric Strana move up into 5th and 6th.
Yeah, real shame. You're right. He was having such a great race, was De Kock there, but just a bit of a miscalculation on the corners, and unfortunately this ended in tears. So real shame for him. As he just gapped Michel too, which is also quite convenient. Just before that, I think Michel had a little bit of a moment at the back half of the circuit, which is why he'd had a little bit of a gap at that point. But unfortunately, just a little bit of a mistake there, and that's pretty much put an end to his race. So any chance of a competitive result at least. So yeah, real shame for him. But again, just racing doesn't really do those. You'll be having such a great race, then just that one little mistake, and especially around a circuit like Croft, and that's just that's it. So yeah.
Absolutely. But
Ooh.
yeah, I think that will actually alleviate this battle for 5th and 6th, because I think De Kock was... Oh,
seventh.
De Kock's in the pit lane, yeah.
Yeah, so
7th.
wide just went wide there through the turn 1. That's Gift
right.
and Adam Taylor, 8th spot.
Yeah, anyway, what I was saying was I think Christian's going to pull away from Eric here. I wouldn't be too surprised. Carston's keeping right on the back of Nicky, which I think he needs to do. I think he needs to stay as close as possible if any penalties were given.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what he needs to do. Is from this point on, he needs to still be in that mindset of maybe he doesn't need to make a move or whatever. I don't think he's going to get close enough to make a move, but he needs to stay as close as possible. Limit the mistakes. Hernan Gonzalez in that wonderful Martini kart DNFs. Second DNF of the evening for him.
So look, I'll have a see if I can find out what happened there. Oh, it's interesting. He just, So he's going along out of the sweeper and he pulls off to the side of the track and
fuel.
stops it.
Yeah, that's a very weird one, isn't it? Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, unless it's a technical issue of some kind. But yeah, it's a very good one. But what that does mean is we have 18 cars now left in the race. So high attrition rate at Croft is really
it's not a surprise here.
Taking hold. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise to have such a high attrition rate around this circuit. But, you know, with such a... Oh, wow, Eric Stoner is keeping right up to the back of Christian Michel. Good lad.
I saw that, yeah.
Good lad. I think he's closing in. So we could have about for 5th later on in this race, and I'm sure his team boss, Oscar Harbuck, will be chuffed with that. 2 bits. Canastracci. Ooh.
I was just going to say, Oscar Harbuck's up into 12th on his charge back through the field, so... Making good progress right now. Next up for him is Poeti, who's also trying to charge through the field after an early incident. So that could be interesting, because remember we've got this little bit of a train behind Canastracci, with Taylor and Wire there behind them. So that could be an interesting one, possibly if they catch up by the end of the race. So there is a pretty big gap to catch, but we will see as this develops. Because Taylor having a look through Sunny in, could be interesting battle.
Yeah, he's very close to the back of Canastracci, and we know that Adam Taylor's got some pace. Hopefully he's been looking after his tyres a bit more. Of course, 5th in the first race. Oh. It's alright, it was just... that's a lock up there for Canastracci.
Oh, Michel's round.
Oh, yeah, what happened there?
Oh, boy. What has happened there? Yeah. Let's have a look. I'll see if I can go through the replay. He just spun. Yeah,
he just spun.
On Strand, he had a bit front bumper. Oh, no. Strand, he's lost his front bumper in that. He just had nowhere to go and he just had to go into him, and that's lost his front splitter. So Strand's going to have no pace, you'd think, at this point. So he's going to be limping around, and he's still got 10 minutes to go, so he's going to lose a whole bunch of positions from that. That's a real shame. Just had nowhere to go. No. Yeah, just Michel went too deep. He spun back in front of him, and unfortunately Strand just nothing he could do really, just an innocent bystander. So yeah,
big lock up there into tower. Oh, Adam Taylor up inside of Canastracci. Canastracci's going to hold on. Oh no, he's not. He's going to run onto the grass. Oh, I think this is Canastracci's.
Oh no, it's
not again, please. Oh, Taylor, do not push him onto that part of the track. God, that was cheeky. Oh, this is bad. There's going to be death here. Oh yeah,
no.
That was bad. That was bad. Come on, Adam.
Oh, now Wire's going to get... Oh, it's so close. Oh, it's the...
Yeah, Wire's going to get through here on Canastracci. Poor driving from Taylor. And that means that Taylor's up to 6th. Canastracci down to 8th. And they're going to be closing onto the back of Eric Strana pretty sharpish. I'll tell you what his lap time is this time by. As fast as up to 19.1, this lap will be 20.8. Oh, he's not... That's a shame for Eric.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. He's still soldering on, though, to be fair. He does... he's got... It'll be about 9-ish laps to go. And he does... 10th place, for example, is a pretty long way back. So he may still be able to get a top 10.
Top 10, yeah.
Just keep it together. And I think that'll be his plan, I would say, at this point. Because surely he's going to know that those guys behind are going to be closing fast. So, as I say, he's got a pretty big gap back to 10th, which is Rasmussen at the moment. He's actually got Poeti coming out of him at this point. But yeah, the way, real shame. But again, I guess it's racing. Also, that battle for third's been kind of interesting too. Nicodem in third. I think he actually just made that move possibly in recent times. It's interesting. And also, look at Wilhelm. He's actually keeping with Nicky. This is really interesting. So, yeah, some surprising people in this race with some surprising pace. I'm thinking at this point.
Yeah. Carson's keeping right up to the back of him. Arnie Schumlit's catching right up to the back of Wisniewski as well. Actually, no. Have they switched positions?
I think they have, yeah.
They have, yeah. Sorry, that's been totally off camera. Or it might have been on camera and we just totally didn't see it.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's a great line for Nicodem to that first chicane. But yeah, third and fourth for those two. I don't think that battle's done. This race, Eric Strana's dropping very quickly back into Adam Taylor's hands. He did 20.6 that lap. Adam Taylor did a 19.6.
Yeah.
It's going to be
it's not
tough.
looking good.
Yeah, so I think we'll end at about lap 23. So we do have quite a few more laps of this race to go. So yeah, that's going to drop back quite a bit. As Puoti is right on the back of Rasmussen. And this is probably going to be a move soon outside of Tower Corner again. It's going to be a bit of a cutback, I reckon, from Puoti. Oh, it looks.
He didn't do it. I think Rasmussen just sort of closed the door there on Puoti, so he had to kind of back out of that one. So good spotting for Puoti to back out of that before it turned into a big moment there. But yeah, interesting battle that for 10th. Obviously, again, Puoti coming back through the field. Good stuff from Rasmussen there to be in the top 10 as Pueti goes wide. Whoa, okay, so that's given Rasmussen a bit of a breathing space. So yeah.
Yeah.
There's all that battle for 5th, by the way, so they've caught up to Strong. So Taylor and Wire are on the back of him, and keep in mind again that Wire is, I would say, in pace, a little bit quicker than Taylor, I think, overall. So this could be interesting, because Strong is technically 4th position, he has every right to fight this. So
yeah, absolutely.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all goes.
Absolutely, he does have every right to try and keep on this position. This is the corner that will hurt him the most. Is getting that front end in. Sunny in, sunny out will be pretty difficult. And well, generally the track will be difficult. But look at that straight line speed.
Yeah, no, less downforce, more straight line speed. Yeah.
Which isn't quite accurate because let's be honest, the front end of that car should be creating way more drag. But whatever. Here's what it is in this mod. And yeah, he's got more straight line speed. So there's potential here. Especially if he keeps him behind for a couple of laps. That'll be important. If he keeps him behind for a couple of laps, then that'll give him a bit of confidence here. That'll... Oh
boy.
Never mind.
Here we go. Yep. And the kill was around the outside, surely. Although he's going to have to remember this time.
He's going to hold
bumper. Yeah,
he's going to hold it. That's a good move from Taylor, to give him credit. With a bump
There's
there.
kind of stretches on the back of this too, so this is he's coming back again, Strong, though.
Oh, he's holding him as well.
Kind of stretch, he's gone off.
Oh, God.
He's gone spinning off in the background, so he loses a spot to Michelle, but Christian. He holds on to 9th though, kind of stretch. He does drop behind Christian now. He moves up to 8th, and yeah, looks like Taylor has confirmed that position. So yeah, a little bit shame there, but Strong, as you said, as I said, I reckon he's got enough pace and enough time. He should at least be able to hold on to 9th, I reckon. Yeah, so we'll see though as this goes on.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if he fell back further than 9th place at this point. But you know, a round of what could have been again, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, what would happen if him and Oscar actually put in some practice? You never know.
Nudge to Oscar.
To the pair of them, yeah. Actually do some laps. God damn it.
Yeah.
Eric Strana under attack from Cedo. Cedo straight. He didn't even fight that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was about to point out, Nicodem is under big pressure for 3rd here from Arn. Big pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. Christian will be through on Eric's scene. But yes, this battle for the final spot on the podium. Who is it going to be? Nicodem Wisniewski or Arnie Schumvlit? Of course, both drivers over in the Virtual Endurance Championship. One LMP1, one GT Pro. You'd say, saying that out loud, surely Arnie's got a little bit of the advantage here as, driving these cars. Although, let's be clear, this is quite different to a Dodge Viper.
Yeah.
It's going to be contact. Oh, that was close.
was, yeah. Stuff to dodge that in the end, but yeah. So again, just a shout out again to Carsten Wilhelm.
Yeah,
He
did a
is keeping up
super job.
with Nicky. Yeah, he really is doing a fantastic job. He's genuinely managing to keep up with Nicky on even terms. So that's really impressive from him, and really good things to get note of, to keep in mind for future rounds possibly. That means he may actually be able to fight him on even ground for future races, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see indeed, of course. Plenty of tracks left, plenty of different types of circuits, and maybe a couple more drivers to add into the mix when we head to Imola. It's getting close, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. We've got just under 5 minutes to go, so you've got surely about 3 or 4 laps to go. I'd say 4 laps maximum to go. And yeah, Arna's looking very feisty right now on Nicodem. He's got clearly more pace, but again, it's that thing of being Croft and being so close. You need to be pretty significantly faster to make a move stick. You can't just be a little bit faster because it's that close. It just isn't enough.
Yeah, not around this circuit. I think if in Formula One, although that's more to do with dirty air and stuff like that. If you're about, let's say, 3 or 4 seconds a lap faster than the guy in front, you should be getting past pretty quickly. 2 corners and you should be through, easy peasy. However, here you have got a selection of drivers that are basically all running the same pace. At that point, what you really need is that driver in front of you to make a mistake. The only way that a driver like that will make a mistake is if they get too comfortable and then run out of fuel. Or like Nicodem just there. Or they catch. Or you keep them under so much pressure that they just can't take it.
That's kind of what Arn looks to be doing, doesn't he?
Exactly.
Really is. He's so close to him through the complex. He just gains so much time, it seems. And again, he's going to try.
Lighten up those rears.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very, very feisty out of the complex there from Nicodem. But yeah, Arna's really all over him. I mean, if anyone, you're talking about giving pressure. Arna's really just doing that to the maximum right now. Like, he is just right behind him. So if Nicodem isn't feeling the pressure right now, I don't think he's going to feel the pressure ever, because I don't think Arna can be much closer if he tried.
No. You could barely put a cigarette paper between the two of them, but coming down towards Tower. See, this is the thing, is there's not enough slipstream. Or there is enough slipstream, but the straight's not long enough to take full advantage of that, although Arnie doesn't care about that. That was going to happen. That was going to happen. That's that duel done. Arnie Schienvliet will be 4th. Nicodem Wisniewski will be 3rd. Carsten Wilhelm's dropping off the back of Nicky Jakovic now. And I'm pretty sure Nicky will be coming around that final. Yeah, he will. This should be the last lap of the race. For Nicodem Wisniewski. For Nicky Jakovic. I'm getting distracted here. This should be the last lap, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's the last lap.
Yeah, it is. Just over to 29. So the last lap, and it'll be 4 from 4 for Nicky. And Carsten Wilhelm will be on the podium 2 times in a row in the second races and should promote himself up
just keeping an eye on
second in the standings.
Yeah, so just keeping on. Really, the main battle at the moment looks to be for 5th between Wire and Taylor.
Yeah.
That's the main battle in the top half of the field at the moment, as they are very close. See, he's been following Adam Taylor the whole race, and he hasn't quite had the chance to make the move. And I don't know if he will. He's close, but he's going to have to hope for probably a bit of a slip up from Adam to have a real shot here at 5th spot on the final lap.
Yeah, I don't know if Cedo's going to be able to do anything. He wants that top 5. You can smell it. He definitely wants to get himself up there. So we'll see if there will be any opportunity around this final lap. You'll probably have to keep an eye on that one, my old buddy. Meanwhile, speaking of Adam Taylor, Team Vires, his teammate, Nicky Jakovic, through the complex again. He's going to take his 4th from 4. That is an insane start to a championship. That does not define a championship. If you look in somewhere like V8 Supercars in 2010, we had people take 4 wins in a row and still did not go on to win that title. But Nicky Jakovic, either way, will take 4 out of 4 and does confirm himself as a serious title contender. Carsten Wilhelm, his closest rival at the moment, in 2nd. Nicodem Wisniewski in 3rd. Had a lot of pressure from Arnie Schienvliet there, but did not crack. Arnie gets 4th. This is going to be Adam Taylor and Cedo Wire through the final corner. It's going to be a cutback for Wire. This is not
I
going to
think
happen.
Adam's got it.
Yeah, Adam has got this. That is not going to happen. 5th place for Adam Taylor. 6th place for Cedo Wire. Christian Michel in 7th. Eric Strana holds on to 8th. I'm sure he'll be over the moon with that, although a bit downed by what could have been Danielle Canastracci in 9th place. Alessandro Puotti in 10th. Jeppe Rasmussen in 11th. Oscar Hardwick slides his way through the hairpin and gets himself 12th. Thomas Behar and Jimmy Nasuda very, very close, but it should... Oh, a bit of a slide there from Behar out of the final corner, but 13th and 14th for those respectively. Stone Vage is going to come around the final complex corners and is going to finish in 15th ahead of Arun Janssens. Bram Beelen crosses the line a lap down and will not be... He didn't seem too happy with that. Hernan Gonzalez, Renz de Kock, very shame for him. He could have been in the top 5. Tom Schenkels, Lasse Sorensen, Jesper Christensen, and Marius Burt are all of your retirements. But Niki Jakovic looks super, super strong at this point in the season. Will he falter as the season continues? Can anyone get onto the back of him?
It's such a it's a tough one, isn't it? I mean, it's interesting that race, start of that second race kind of showed a little bit of a falter from him with through the chicane there, cutting through the chicane, and just how that all played out. It was a little bit of a falter from him. For once, he actually had to have a pretty good fight to be able to get that win. He didn't just walk away with it from the get-go, but it was still, once he did get past, a pretty dominant performance. Again, good stuff from Carsten Wilhelm to actually keep with him for most of the race. But again, it's one thing to keep with a driver; it's another thing entirely to pass or to challenge and pass a driver. And I just didn't see Carsten being close enough at any real point to actually make a move stick there on Niki. So in terms of the rest of the series, it's hard to look past Niki. It really is. So I think Niki's the one to watch throughout the rest of the series, and really it's going to be everyone else's challenge to try and beat him for the rest of the season. But again, Nicodem stepping in first time here at round 2. Great stuff from him to get a podium on that second race. Carsten Wilhelm, great stuff from him there in the second spot. Again, good second race for sure. And yeah, Concedo Wire, another one to watch. He had some good pace there. If I hadn't been for that second race instantly, he'd probably been in the top 5 for sure. And as you mentioned, a few of those newer names, ones to watch as well, having some good pace in the second race. It's some good signs, I think. Again, some really nice close racing once again, especially in that sort of top 10, some really close pace between a lot of the guys in that top 10. But yeah, I think it's good signs, is why I think for the rest of the season. Hopefully we can get some really close racing to go on till the end.
Absolutely. We're 2 rounds complete of this season, and the next round will be on the 9th of May in 2 weeks' time. Imola, do not forget to join us same time, hopefully the same commentary crew, and hopefully some good racing. But yeah, we will see you in 2 weeks' time, and until then, goodbye.